Hey friends, it's August. Welcome to Cozy Rosie Reads, and this is the start of another weekly reading vlog. It is Sunday today, and TBH, I'm starting to get very nervous about what vlogs are even gonna look like in the next few months, because starting this weekend on Saturday, yesterday, I started my kind of wedding season as a wedding photographer, and my weekends are booking up so freaking fast. I rarely have a Saturday off now until November, but I am just really nervous about what reading vlogs are gonna look like because I've been home from vacation for a week now and I still haven't even finished a single book. And that is incredibly deterring for somebody who reads at least 1 to 2 books a week. I can usually finish them really quickly. I prioritize reading, but now that I'm actually in the throes of my wedding season, I had my first one yesterday, which went super well. But from now, until November, it's just gonna get worse for me. Not worse because I freaking love my job, but worse in terms of content for you all because it's just a little chaotic. And I'm really grateful that I was able to start this channel in January because I had nothing going on in January. That's not really a big wedding or photography season in general. And I'm feeling really down about it, not going to lie. I know reading is just a pleasure thing and it's a form of entertainment for myself, but it's sad when I can't quite prioritize that anymore because of how busy life is. I think for this vlog, I would love to read Call Me By Your Name by André Aciman. Kind of skinnier, bigger font, we love, more dialogue, literary fiction, contemporary, maybe a little bit easier to read, a little bit more accessible, and very summer vibes. You know, we're kind of nearing the end of summer already. It's still hot as shit, but I just kind of still want to soak up some summer vibes. So I think this would be a really good one for me to maybe get out of not necessarily a reading slump, but just having a book that I can read really quickly. So I'm gonna start Call Me By Your Name, André Aciman. If you are unfamiliar with this book, it follows a young boy. I believe he's in his mid-teens, and he is staying with his family in the Italian Riviera area over the summer. I believe this takes place in the 80s as well. I'm not 100% sure about that for the book. I know in the movie it was the 80s. And his family hires on this guy who's kind of an intern for them, does some scholarly things, and he's in his 20s. So there's, a little bit of a huge age gap. Not really a fan of that. Not quite sure how I'm gonna personally feel about it when I read it. But yeah, these two guys end up having a romance for the summer. I'm really excited to finally read this with my own eyeballs and to make my own judgments and thoughts and opinions about it because I've just heard really wonderful things. I've heard maybe 1 or 2 people say that they really did not like this book. I've seen the movie, I enjoyed it, so I'm just really excited to get into actually reading the physical book. So that is what I'm gonna be reading for this vlog. So yesterday I had a wedding, and then I spent the evening editing that wedding, trying to get some sneak peeks up for them. Today, all day, I've been working at a coffee shop. I just got home from working at a coffee shop. I was there for 4.5, almost 5 hours. I got there this morning, and then I just got home and started filming this. I was really debating whether to even do a reading vlog because I don't even know if I have time to read. And tomorrow, my dad and I are traveling to Ann Arbor, where University of Michigan is. And we're just gonna take a little day, just the two of us, and look at some record stores, maybe some bookstores, just kind of have a fun summer date day. We've done that a few times in the past, and I really enjoy it, where we just kind of travel to a new little town and just kind of putz around and enjoy food and we both love window shopping and all that kind of stuff. So we're just gonna do that tomorrow, and that's gonna be really nice. So I'll take you all along with me. I think that will be a really good time to hopefully kind of re-center myself a little bit and maybe just I don't know, not feel super high intensity energy and workaholic kind of vibes, because that's definitely how I'm feeling today. And then on Tuesday, who knows? I don't know what's going on Tuesday. We'll see. Maybe it can be a reading day. That would be amazing. But hopefully this vlog doesn't suck because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to read. I don't know how much I'm gonna be able to read, but it's fine. It'll be fine. Thank you all so much for being here, friends. I truly appreciate you all so much. I hope you're doing really well. Check in with you all very soon. Say hi to the vlog.
Hi, vlog.
Hello, dear friends. Iced coffee. Since I didn't get to update you all yesterday, yesterday was so much fun. My dad and I drove to Ann Arbor. It's about a 2-hour drive from us, and we just walked around town, and we ended up doing a bookstore visit, record store visit, bookstore, record store, bookstore, and then the last record store my dad wanted to go to was unfortunately closed. We went to 4 bookstores though, 3 of which were used books. Oh my god, the amount of whimsy in these bookstores, friends. I wish I could send you all there. I wish I could transport you magically into those bookstores whenever you need it, whenever you feel sad, because they were so whimsical. I also wish they were a lot closer to me because the quality of these used books, friends, I think it might just be because you're on like a university campus town. The books were so intellectual, like so many smart, unique books that I've never heard of before that had really cool covers that I was like, oh my gosh, this looks absolutely amazing. I wish I could take them all home, but I had to be really, really selective because there were so many books that sounded incredibly unique. I took pictures of so many books that I would love to read at some point, but I just wasn't quite ready because I am a frugal old lady, as you all know if you've been on this channel for a while. I don't like spending more than like $5 per book if I don't know if I'm gonna love it. You know what I'm saying? So I did go home with 4 books, and one of which was The Pisces by Melissa Broder. And if you saw my August TBR challenge, which I will link that video down below as well, I was allowed to buy myself 1 brand new book. I so seldomly buy myself brand new books, so I was really, really excited to buy this brand new, and unfortunately none of my local indie bookstores had it in stock. So going to Ann Arbor and finding this there, I was beyond thrilled. Did buy this for myself, brand spanking new. I got myself a brand new book, Who Am I? I'm so excited to read this month. I really, really hope I can get around to it, but this will probably be a big priority for me because I bought a brand new book. It was just so much fun spending time with my dad. We went out to eat, we got to sit outside, we just got to talk for hours and just spend a whole day in this town that like I have not been to since like 2015. It was so much fun. The books were incredible. The bookstores, again, like I said, whimsy. It was just like floor to ceiling books on the floor, just stacked up in random piles. No sense of like organization really, and it was just such a freaking treat. I feel bad for my dad though because I had to continuously be like, is this too much time? Are we spending too much time in the bookstores? Like, kick me out whenever you need to, because I was just like destroying this bookshop with my eyes and going through every single spine, and I have to be very conscious of like other people being there with me because I could spend hours there. So I ended up leaving with 4 books and 2 new records, and I'm really, really happy. So I will be including those books in whenever my next book haul is gonna be, which who knows, it actually might be a seasonal thing now, doing seasonal book hauls, so maybe it'll be included in like a fall book haul. Who knows? But the main reason I'm here is to tell you all about Call Me By Your Name by André Aciman. So I am barely making any progress in this, and I'm very, very sad about it. So currently I'm still on part 1. It's been like 2 days since I've updated you, and I've only gotten 34 pages in. I'm really, really sad about that, friends. I really am. But I am just thoroughly enjoying this book. I want to spend time reading it. I'm loving the writing style. I find it so accessible. It feels like we're just right in Elio's mind. And I did find out the age difference. So Elio is 17 and Oliver is 24. For me personally, I was really nervous about how I would feel about this, but upon reading it, like it doesn't feel super strange for me. And that was a really big surprise. I thought I would feel uncomfortable with it, but honestly, I just really didn't. And I'm really not so far. But I am just really, really loving this writing style. I think it is so delicious and tender and poetic. Very summery, very languid summer days spent outside by the pool. A lot of like delicious food. Just leisure. Pure leisure. This is kind of like what we all want in the summertime, which is to like have elaborate picnics on the Italian Riviera, spending hot days outside, sunbathing by a pool, writing literature, listening to music, just being disconnected from any sort of big rushing to-dos. There's nothing to do. I love it. I love the vibe. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Okay, and it is very saucy so far already. Like already I feel this sexual tension, and normally that makes me a little cringe, but in this it is just so beautifully done that it feels incredibly, like, overwhelmingly romantic. You get that visceral sense of a teenager in love. Like, if you experienced any sort of like lustful, like overpowering daydreaming or imaginations of like being with somebody that you're attracted to, this book will transport you into when you felt that as a teenager. It's just so well done. Like, I feel so like, ooh, there's that magneticism, that like attraction, and I'm just like, ooh, this is getting a little steamy. I don't read steamy books. Like, this is just really good, and I'm like, damn. We shall see how the rest of it goes, but I am really, really enjoying it so far. I am very pleasantly surprised, and I will continue to update you all. So hopefully I can fly through this book because I'm really, really enjoying it. So I will check in with you all a little bit later, hopefully. Who knows what the day's gonna bring? I hope I can check in with you all a little bit later. Cheers, friends. Safe to say I'm very, very grumpy this morning. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed because I slept through my entire morning yoga class, my morning workout class. I'm very sad about it. I'm very upset. I did not sleep well last night. I had so much anxiety. You know, when you have just nights of just free-floating anxiety, you have no idea what you're anxious about, but your brain just will not let you sleep. So last time I looked at the clock before I fell asleep, it was past 5:30 in the morning. I was just tossing and turning, and then I slept through my entire early morning yoga class that I was so looking forward to. I had booked it in advance, so I woke up really, really grumpy, and now in a few minutes I have to take little Umi dude to the vet. He's got some health issues, but we're really hopeful that things will turn around, so send us good vibes, please, because it's been anxiety-filled. It's been very, very stressful here since getting back from our trip. But enough of my sadness today. I did end up getting 156 pages into Call Me By Your Name, so I'm over halfway. I did read last night for a good 2 hours. I just put on some read with me videos. My absolute favorite is the one with Morgan Long, which I will link down below, her fall reading ambiance read with me video. Oh my god, it just gets me so happy. It makes me so happy, and it gets me so focused on reading. So yeah, I am 156 pages in. Elio and Oliver are now kind of still tiptoeing around their relationship. They're definitely having some romantic interactions. It is very hot and steamy. This is a very adult book, a lot of smut. So it's a very steamy, it's very smexy, but majority of it I feel like in between, while Elio, our main character who we're reading from his perspective, while we're waiting with him and while he's waiting to have these interactions with Oliver, the man he's interested in, it's just paragraphs and pages of introspection of Elio hyper fixating on this relationship, thinking about what he should do, what he should say, daydreaming about interactions he's gonna have with Oliver, and then a whole lot and nothing else really happens. We don't really get to know Elio outside of his fascination and worshipping of Oliver and his like obsession with Oliver, which I find really interesting. It's books like this, and it's books that aren't seriously like plot driven, that remind me of the books that I used to read when I was, you know, in university, like for fun. Like I would just read books that were a lot more character development, quiet, built up like this. And I think as I've aged, I have been looking for a little bit more like plot focused books. But then with books like this, I realized how much I love deep dives into character studies. So it's very interesting because the reading experience isn't necessarily like fun for me. I'm not like, oh, I need to turn this page and find out what happens. It's enjoyable, but it's not overwhelmingly enjoyable. I don't know if that makes sense. So I'm very curious about myself. This book is definitely bringing up a lot in myself of like, what kind of literature do I even like reading anymore? I feel like it's just changed so much, and especially after being in Ann Arbor the other day and seeing how many like very intellectual, unknown, small, short, weird looking books there were that were just definitely based on characters and by authors that I had never heard of. It sparked this feeling in me of like wanting to read more books like that. But then I realized I cannot read them all the time. I cannot read them all the time because I do enjoy plot. I do enjoy suspense. I enjoy a little bit more, not necessarily action, but something, you know? So while I enjoy character studies like this, like just really heavy literary fiction, quiet, moody, atmospheric books, I freaking love those. Those are my jam. I just realize more and more that like I cannot read them back to back to back to back. I need books in between that have maybe a little bit more light and fluffy, and usually those books will not become my favorite of all time. It's usually books like this or more literary fiction that become my favorites. And so, but in between them, I have a bunch of like 3 stars. So I'm just very curious. I'm just thinking kind of out loud right now, but it's very interesting how our tastes change and how if you enjoy a certain genre or writing style so much, you still can't read 100% of that genre, which is sad because you want to be able to read all the 5 stars you possibly can, but it is taxing. It's exhausting to read just literary fiction or books like this that don't have a whole lot of dialogue, that have a lot of introspection, a lot of run-on sentences about how somebody's feeling and what they're thinking, and it's overwhelming to be that vulnerable and close and in somebody else's head. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but that's just kind of where my brain's going today. So yeah, I'm still enjoying it. I am very curious to see how it goes, but definitely while reading this book, I am so perfectly envisioning the characters from the movie. I think they casted it really, really well, and it's definitely making me want to rewatch the movie as soon as I finish this book. I definitely want to rewatch it now knowing what the book is about and how close they are. I'm curious to see what the ending's all about. But yeah, so I am enjoying this, and I will update you all a little bit later today. Good morning, friends. So, not seen in this video, but I have two different laptops next to me, exporting a huge wedding, working dual laptops today. So I'm on the grind. It is Thursday morning. This is longer than I typically vlog for because there's hardly any content for you all, and I just gotta keep going until I have something to show you. So, Call Me By Your Name. I'm still not done with this. I did read a little bit before bed. I'm close to the 200 page mark. I'm on page 178. Yeah, so yesterday, instead of like reading in the evening time, my partner and I went on a beautiful nature walk. It was so humid and sweaty and beautiful, and then we went and got sushi. It was just so nice. We had some good quality time together. I read before bed. I don't really know how I'm feeling about this book. I think the issue is that I'm not feeling anything for this book. I'm not feeling any emotional anything. I think what kind of intrigued me the most was the smuttiness and the steaminess, because I don't read a whole lot of that. So that really kind of kept me going of like, oh, this is hot and bothering. Like, wow, this is definitely different than anything I've read. I think that's what initially pulled me, was like this sexual tension that you could cut with a knife. Like, it was intense. But now I'm just kind of feeling like I'm just really pushing myself to finish it. I really don't care a whole lot about these characters. I don't really emotionally feel anything with this book. I'm not feeling excited to pick it up, but I'm also not dreading it. I don't know. I'm a little like buoyant right now in the sea of Call Me By Your Name. I'm just kind of like, yeah, all right. Like, I'm here, not drowning in it. I'm fine, but I'm not over the moon about it. I don't know. This is a dumb update. So yeah, I'm not feeling this 100%. I will finish it. My goal is to finish it today. I have only finished one full book so far this month, and it is August 19th. I have never read so little in the past like 2 years, I feel like. So I'm kicking myself a little bit. I want to finish at least the second book. It's been hard, but everything's okay. I can do it. I hope you all are doing well, okay? Mentally. Take care of yourself. I appreciate you. Love you all. I need to read. I literally just finished this book. That last line was so beautiful. I love when books end on a good line. That, like, usually always leaves me feeling so freaking satisfied. Oh, why do I always film, like, right when I finish a book? I don't give myself time to, like, process my thoughts, but that last line, though. Oh, no! Wow. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to take some time to formulate my thoughts. The last line, superb, fantastic, really enjoyed it. Did feel a little difficult for me to get through. I wasn't totally in love with it. Winston really wants to play. Don't you? No, don't bite me. Yeah, it felt a little difficult to get through. It wasn't my favorite read of all time. Definitely not. I think it sits between like a 3.75 and like a 4-star. That last line was really, really good. Really beautiful, very heartfelt. I think it's incredible writing, very, very good writing. It was pretty easy to read. It wasn't sluggish. It wasn't difficult to read. And I think the ambiance of it was just so delightful. Like, oh my God, the atmosphere was just so, so good. So yeah, I'm not sure what I will give this. But I did enjoy it. Not a bad book. not my favorite of all time. So that is Call Me By Your Name. I am so freaking happy that I finished reading a book in this vlog. I'm so happy. Didn't think I could do it, but I did it. Who knows if I'll even post this vlog, honestly, because since getting back from vacation, my posting schedule has been super off because, you know, life has been really, really busy. My vacation came at a perfect time right before my busy season. So I'm kind of kicking myself that I don't really have time to edit this. Might not go live for a while if it does ever go live. So if you're seeing this, hi, it's a surprise to me too. My partner has officially left to go on his boys' weekend trip, so I am home alone with the cats. It is incredibly hot in the apartment. It's very toasty. I did some grocery shopping after work, finished reading this, and now I think I'm going to go and do some yoga and then figure out what I'm going to read next. So stay tuned. I think I'm going to do a little bit of a quick, lighter read, like something pretty fast that I can maybe fly through, and then start the big one. Little Life. So stay tuned for that. I'll definitely have like a dedicated reading vlog to Little Life that might span more than a weekend. We shall see. I don't know. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed this really random, weird vlog. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will see you all again very soon for my next video. Stay cozy, my friends. Bye! What is this? Bye!